I really don't know how to start this video or the game, so I'm gonna tell you how I found this game, okay? I scour, not normally, every now and then I scour itch.io, and I found a game that looked promising, or mildly promising, or interesting, called Don't Eat the Cashier. That seems interesting, right? And horror, terror, whatever. Then I read the synopsis, okay? Congratulations, you just landed a night shift at a gas station for a minimum wage. Spooky enough already? But your customers tonight aren't exactly human. Meet talkative monsters, alright. Flirt with eldritch beings. What? Pet a werewolf and try not to end up on the menu. Your choices shape relationships and endings, from romantic to nightmarish. So this went from mildly interesting to super interesting. I wanted to play this for a little bit. I don't know what this is. This seems to be like a visual novel vampire game, and I'm interested, okay? So we're gonna play today. Do not eat the cashier. So please don't eat me. I'm not tasty. I am EM and body type 1. And my name is Xander. Yes, I already know what the options, because I tried to play this a couple minutes ago, but I was muted. So I'm restarting, okay? Xander is my name. There we go. Sometimes I really wonder how did I end up here? Not that I dreamed of a career as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station. On the other hand, money is money. I sent out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could. Somehow use my art degree. 0 responses. Damn. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. Human organism wanted for work at the gas station. Human organism. Really? Out of all the way to describes what you wanted, you went with that? Organism duties included selling food for a mouth silence and obedience household task. Obey those who are more ancient. Friendly team offer. New and old faces of friends long in different time and different life. No. New faces and old new and old faces of friends long and different times. That's damn, the monster that wrote this is not good. A consumption of nourishment, juicy juices, trips to human places. I found this note stuck to my glass on the bus stop. Why? And why did you went to it? Food for mouth? Seriously? The guy got a style on his own. Yeah, guy. Sure. Apparently the manager is just an eccentric dude. Or is this a new marketing tactic to grab attention? Let's go with the last one, hopefully. Whatever, popper. People often told me that I have my quirk too. Okay. And that even if they haven't seen my fursuit. Oh god, we are a furry. No. Well, whatever. As long as he's not a complete jerk who will eat on me or make me scrub the floor with a toothbrush. You? Wait, is that a... Sorry, my mic stopped working. We're back. Anyway, our manager is quite an interesting dude. I didn't scream. I couldn't move. My brain feverishly tried to find any category for this in its database. Hallucination? Psychosis? Too many energy drinks? A typical middle management? I don't think it's that one, mate. The monster from my nightmare stirred. Its tentacles crept closer to the counter. My god. The creature made a sound, not from a mouth, Yet none. The sound emanated from the deep within his bulk, hollow, profound, bone-shaking. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the indiscriminately and terrifying customer of worlds, but you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. Okay, Bob? No. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. You will sell food for mouths and obey me, for I am ancient. Memorize the rules of this establishment, for my patient is limited as a salary I offer you. Okay. Rule number 1. You sell, no matter what, chicken food for mouth, gremlin fuel, noodles made from crushed souls, lottery tickets for extra limbed raffles, discount throughout ritual foil, everything must sold. He points directly at me with a creepy smile. With a creepy, slimy tentacle. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumph exit from the pitfall hole. I pinch myself, but didn't wake up. Rule number 2. Be polite to customers, ignore bald spots in werewolf fur, and watch out for drafts when ectoplasmic energetic entities are in the store. What? But don't let them get too bold. Customers are just walking containers for currency. They should only pay in monetary units. Payment is in existential dread or air of the dead is not accepted. I was not thinking on accepting that, but you know. Many of them came here to chat because they are idle and purposeless organisms. Your task is to make them part with their currency away. Sorry. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. Okay, let's... I don't think I would scream, even though this is terrifying as fuck. I'll probably sit in silence, right? Hold back. Excuse me, dear sir, you seem to mention werewolves and ectoplasm? No, actually, honestly, after seeing these, I know. Silently tremble in fear. With fear. All of this just doesn't fit in my head. I'm shaking so much that cheap plastic badges into my uniform rattles. I'm the embodiment of pure, unadulterated, fuck that word. Terror. This is the correct reaction when confronted with a superior entity. Your fear is evidence of a functional survival instinct. Oh nice! That was the correct option. However, it is completely unacceptable. Wait, okay. Many of our customers enjoy seeing a smiling muscle spasm on the face of the serving organism. I'll demonstrate a crooked smiling muscle spasm. Sure, let's do a forced smile. I gather all the remaining motor control that isn't currently engaged in convulsion. Then I take a shaky breath and attempt to smile. The corner of my mouth twitches upward, but not in sync. I can feel one side higher than the other. Oh, his little eye. Acceptable. The asymmetry is a bit distracting, but the main muscle groups are activated in the correct configuration. You have successfully created a smile. Maintain this configuration in all customers' interaction. He suddenly placed a jar in front of me on the counter. All the last rules. Oh, not all. And the last rule. Remember, organism. This tip container must be filled with money by the end of your wake cycle. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary room with each object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for 2,510 years. That's a very specific duration. Wait, with a fork, I just noticed. Why? I couldn't take my eyes off the fork, the potential tool for my internal servitude. At this moment, my mind fully capitulated. Yes, I was hired by a multi-eyed cosmic architect squid. Yes, my clients will be non-humans. Yes, I am threatened with a fork and eternal toilet cleaning. How could anyone clean anything with a fork? Let's hope that we do not find out, okay? Also, I remember that. I don't remember the name of this meme, horror meme, but I remember this face somewhere. The same will happen to you if think of escape before the end of your work contract. My awkward sensorium perceives the subtlest of matter. It will detect you in any corner of the pitiful planetary sphere. Of this. Crap. I am stuck here. I'm in a trap. Do you understand, organism? Okay, let's not be, bratty. Hold back. Yes, sir. Acceptable. Oh yeah, the little art. Goodbye, organism. Good luck in your currency acquisition and button pressing. Could you show me how exact to press the button? Point at the buttons of the vending machine. Yeah, I'm guessing this is tutorial, so let's ask him. I point at the sticky button on the vending machine. Bob's central eye looks at my finger, then at the machine, then back at my face. Come on, Bob. The creature sighs. The tentacle extends from his body with torturous slowness. With drama of a pianist playing the tragic last note, the tip of the tentacle presses down. Click. Bob waits expectantly. Got it. Your capacity for learning is phenomenal. This concludes the briefing. Do not tremble anymore and be brave, organism, in the future. But if it benefits business, then tremble. He then turned around as a human would. His tentacles simply shifted his entire mass in another direction with a soft gurgling sound. And he waddled across the linoleum. That's a word! Actually? I feel like I heard that word before. Linoleum, okay. Finally, he left. The silence of the gas station was broken only by the hum of refrigerators containing juicy juice and the buzzing of the neon lamp above my head. I stood in the same spot, as if rooted to the ground. My breath returned to me in a sharp, uneven gasp. My hands were shaking. The tip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in the dimension of ancient horrors, still stood proudly on the counter. Okay, so what just happened now? Option 1. I've gone insane. That's the most logical conclusion. A prolonged stress from job hunting, malnutrition, nerves, anxiety, and disrupted sleep schedule. My brain just malfunctioned. Yes, sure, that seems logical. Yes, that's it. I'm going to wake up in my couch with my in my dingy rented apartment. I pinch myself again, and nothing. I scanned the room once more. It smelled of gasoline and old coffee. It was still absurdly real. And that meant everything said. It was all true. Werewolves, vampires, thieves. The fork. The hysterical mix of laughter and a scream terror welled up in my throat, but I held it back. I needed to get through this. I needed to. Oh no. Don't tell me that's the first customer. Bells? What the hell? Oh! Shit. Hey, Jester? Where the hell did this clown come from? He took great effort not to look away from the red eyes, burning with pitch black darkness. My game is a little bit too loud. My PC. Right. He's amused? Is he wondering if I'm tasty? Bob didn't exactly give any guarantees that I wouldn't be devoured at work. My brain, still recovering from the encounter with Bob, was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. I mean, at least this guy is more normal than Bob. Okay, not this one, okay. Isn't it strange that I work at a gas station for a couple of bucks, yet you are the one who wears Jester at? Good evening, sir. What would you like to purchase? Please don't eat me. I'm a miserable tasteless cashier. Okay, let's No, let's muster all our courage. Good evening, sir. Would you like to purchase? What would you like to purchase? Purchase? Oh, you reminded me of Isoka from Under X Hunter. I'd like to purchase. Wait, I'd like to purchase your attention. I suppose that's free, sort of included in the service package. I suppose it's free. Make a wink, but only for you, sir. Okay, let's not flirt that much, okay? Let's ease into it. You're lucky, team, sir. My attention is on sale today. Honestly, that one seems kind of good because we need tips. Okay, let's milk these guys. I'm not sure that's on the sale list. However, there's plenty of other things. No. You're lucky, esteemed sir. My attention is on sale today. Oh, a bargain. But is it wise to put your best merchandise on discount? Anyway, I adore a good bargain, especially when they are absolutely unfair. In a truly fair world, my dear soul, it'll be worth more than $6 an hour. Okay. Am I getting less than that? Damn, okay. Can a mere piece of paper reflect your uniqueness? Can even 6 of them? Not even 20 could. And I wouldn't mind 20 extra pieces of measly paper. My god, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking. And he seems in the mood for a shot. True? So, what a beautiful handsome gentleman like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune? Or rather, what is a place like this doing with such a handsome gentleman as you? Oh, handsome. Oh wait, where are my manners? I suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, much of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of a lovely gentleman. The nicest one I've heard is the Mad King. I know that name, but I don't know the creature. A title I plan to pass to myself, from me to myself, for the coming centuries. What? However, my mortal mother named Darian. Oh, that's a pretty name. Darian? Oh, Darian? Darian. I'm gonna go with Darian. Now, may I have your hand? Sure. Sorry, my mother told me not to offer my hand to strangers or any other parts of me, so... No, okay, no. Offer your hand. Oh, okay. He suddenly bows his head and presses his lips against my knuckles. To my knuckles. Meeting you is truly a pleasure. His lips are cold, yet a ghostly warmth spread across my skin. So here I am, dealing with a gentleman, how lovely, or a king, as he calls himself. Of all the kings and emperors locked in their soft chambers, this one has probably found a way to escape. May I know your name? I don't immediately realize he's asking me a question. Still in the days from that gentlemanly? Is that a word? Gentlemanly is. That's the word, let's pretend it is. My name is Zender, I'm also a king, you know. Let's not be Mimi, because this guy seems to be... not charming. Eloquent? Not like... sure. Noble. Let's not like do jokes and all that, you know? I refuse to reply to the name. Demons always... no. My name is Zender, but my friends call me Big O. No, Big D. No. My name is Zender, sir. Ah, my dear Zender. You're so polite. See, he likes polite people. He seemed to savor my name. It sends shivers down my spine. And that politeness again, as dry and bland as the rations I give my soldiers. The most creaky of all decrees I have signed. And I've signed decrees that require people to weave ropes from sand, just for fun. Mostly mine. You're kinda... of a menace. I was looking for another word, but damn, that's... Jesus. The polite people never risk anything. No friends, but never risk anything. No friends, no enemies. How is that interesting? Imagine how wonderful it would be if we became enemies. I don't think that would be wonderful, actually. Those would be the most interesting few seconds of your life. Or friends, Then it would be a delightful eternity. Offer him a friendly pinky finger. Honestly, I'm ready to become anything for tips. I don't think I want to flirt in my first playthrough. I want to play more. I'm already interested. Let's not be flirty, not yet. Let's offer him a friendly pinky. Sure. Is this a French custom, I suppose? How charming. And how fortunate that I have a pinky too. He extends his hand. The creature and I seal our friendship pact with our pinkies. He seems pleased but doesn't plan to turn me into a toad or something like that. Nice. I feel like my brain is turning to jelly. And I don't understand... Wait, and I don't understand when we finally get to the point. Actually... I don't understand this first one. Actually, it's not all that bad. I think this is my thoughts, right? Maybe I just been spoiled by all those mangas about sinister and tragic monsters. Though the only tragic thing about this client so far is his tragic unwillingness to buy my discount rod. So, let's finally get to the purpose of my visit. Finally. It's completely unknown to me. What? Oh, for crying out loud. There's nothing interesting in the assortment of this pathetic shack. Except for you. So I'm buying your time. Can you pay this? Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. I could go for it. Oh no. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for us. Is that pleasant? Praise the goat mother. Okay. I'm shivering from the gust of icy wind. You just teleported half of the gas station to a radioactive dump. Or a radioactive dump to my gas station? And the jar is gone. My freaking jar. Fuck! What a wonderful place for dinner. Okay, here. Sure, well, I'm gonna go with the bottom one. What a wonderful place for a dinner. Radioactive cockroaches on the menu? Of course, a local delicacy. I was joking, mate. Come on. Pan-fried with their own radioactive juices to preserve the flavors. Crispy on the outside, still alive on the inside. They grant you the most thrilling superpowers. However, you can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined lands makes me melancholic because of all the fun that has happened. All the fun has happened without me. Disgusting. Allow me. Ooh, this is something seemingly less radioactive. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. It feels like I've been flushed twice through an interdimensional toilet. I clear my throat. Seems like I'm sitting on a table. Oh, much better. Wouldn't you agree? It couldn't be better. It's beautiful here. And strange. Is it your home? Words of a true poet, Xander. My two favorite categories. Strange and beautiful. This place is much more than my home. It's my cage and my greatest canvas for creativity. Every ugly tree, every mad toad, every eye-bearing mushroom is all a piece of me, a marvelous place, except when the rocks grow legs and start running. Fair enough. Including those that people make their homes out of. And now that you're part of this place, and now you're part of this place too. Isn't it wonderful? I'm slowly getting used to the landscape. The fireflies here are quite charming. But I'd be better without that frog with a human face. The frog noticed me too. He lets out a sad croak and then looked at me with an expression of deep existential despair. Oh, he's going to say that he's the last human he brought here. I want to know. I point at the frog with a human face. Who is that? That's Ore, one of the brave souls who dared to challenge my authority. My dear friend, who once walked the path of adventure. Also, he was a human. However, he did not foresee the possibility of being turned into a frog on a whim. He even tried to wield a sword with his tiny frog legs. Fought to the end, a true warrior. Now, however, his foes are mosquitoes and even bigger frogs. Tell me, dear, does it bother you? Is your existence froggy crisis, I mean? Is ruining the ambience? No, let him... He looks at me with an interesting expression. We know what he did. Yes, please disintegrate him. No. Can you remove him gently? He suffered enough. No. Damn, the last one sounds kind of kinky. Wait. I'm gonna go with this one, okay? Maybe next time. I don't mind what You don't mind? Excellent. I think it really sets the tone for the old Flirting, aesthetically. A living monument of the consequences of poor life choices. What did you hear that? The Lord grants you a stay of execution. The Lord? You may continue your pitiful mosquito-infested existence. So, dinner. I'm sure you must be starving. Traveling between realities must be exhausting. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey? And next to the meat, a purple soup, possibly made with the less fortunate Cashier. Whether the food is poison or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too, so I picked up the fork from the table. And this is the most delicious thing I ever tasted. It's 100 times better than these cheap instant noodles I used to buy in the supermarkets. Even the fact that I'm currently in some other universe surprisingly doesn't seem to harm my appetite. It seems you enjoy our cuisine. Cuisine. My chefs are always managed to cook well. On those occasions when I notice it. I assure you, you won't regret this dinner, at least. Nor for the first half hour after the meal. What does that mean, my dude? I don't know which one to answer. This is the best purple goo in my miserable life as a miserable cashier. I think I'm gonna go with that one. No, that seems very... Actually, that sounds negative. Let's inquire. Why are you doing all this? The dinner, the teleport, all that. Why? What a delightful, pointless question, even by my standards. I can't read this guy. Is this good for him? Bad for him? Is he enjoying my question or not? I do it because I can. I do it because the alternative is crushing, grey, predictable boredom. Boredom. I brought you here, Xander, because for the first time in a very, very long time, you are not boring. Because you fear me less than the subjects do, and you can hold a meaningful, albeit questionable, conversation. Unlike my subject. Believe me, when your interlocutor mind is as sturdy as a wet paper, all the joy of the conversation quickly evaporates. This seems like... Ooh, this seems... No. No. Stay silent. I know that... Meaningfully, chewing on the mysteriously soured meat. Source, not sour. Mysteriously sourced meat. Best not to delve into this. I poked the food with a fork and watched the peculiar scenery from the corner of my eye. A silence hangs between us that might even be called cozy. Were I under heavy narcotics. Don't ask silly questions, return to eating. A few words, fewer chances to catch on a deadly magic projectile, or something worse. By the way, How does the meat taste? Is the human flesh tender enough? Ah! That's why he said the first half of the meal was going to be nice, because he planned on telling me. Oh! I mean, they say human flesh tastes like chicken, so it should be good, no? My fork freezes halfway. While looking at him in the eye. You're the one here. Okay, let's not. I think he wants me to freak out. I think this one would be. He wouldn't enjoy this one. No, vomit is too much. I think I'm gonna go with the Mimi one. Not as tasty as the one I had the day before yesterday. Shu, while looking him in the eye. You're the law here. I meet his gaze slowly and with all authority, place a piece of meat in my mouth and begin to chew without breaking eye contact. I can't remember ever seeing someone so shocked in my life. His mad grin vanishes, his eyes widen, and his own fork freezes halfway to his mouth. For one precious, glorious, sweet moment, the Lord of Chaos is completely and utterly baffled. My dear, you are a true treasure. Okay, I'm not dead, I'm not dead. You didn't just call my bluff, you raised the stakes to the sky. No, he's certainly not human. Just venison. As far as I can tell by taste, not very intelligent. Okay, a twist not human. Venison is deer, right? Is definitely not Timmy, our carpenter, who unexpectedly disappeared near the vast kitchen cauldron. A perfectly sized to fit in it. Definitely not. Now I don't know. I personally ensured several decrees related to cannibalism, perhaps even concerning its prohibition. But that's besides the point. I rarely have visitors, and I like to tell you about other interesting guests. After all, it's the most fascinating thing I can share with you. For a place where mushrooms with eyes grow, it can be incredibly dull here. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stir. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stir. They detach from the gnarled trees, rising from the ground like black ink and spreading across the wall. Dancing and intertwining, they prepare to perform at their master's whim. Behold this incredible crooked castle, my dear. Crooked to the point of absurdity. Sadly. In reality, its curves looks more aesthetic, but gives the creator some leeway for expression. Many brave and also bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, crooked castle. So many that it became even more crooked. You see, the dreadful monster living there never liked being distracted from his important duties. The terribly important duties, like having long, deep conversation with his own reflection or concocting recipes with raisins. Let's just listen. He's telling us his story. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid of using them. He wouldn't allow his best servants to have windows, fearing that the moon and both suns would get envious and want to take them away. And he demanded they seal the gaps in the doors as well. He evoked wizards who came to him for magical gifts in a giant laboratory and promised them power if they invented a kettle that could football everything except water. Stay silent. But behold, a ray of light in the dark kingdom, the first hero, Sir Vorey, the righteous. In all his clanging self-importance glory, he took a knee to rest briefly because of the weight of his rest. Let me restart that one. He took a knee to rest briefly because the weight of his righteousness was bad for the health of his poor back. Following rumors spread by the same monster, he fought his way through the monster's loyal subjects. Who? By the way, where did you even find them? Most of my subjects are too busy contemplating the covers of suspenders for their suspenders or lamenting their fate. I cherish them for their imperfections. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were probably the most relentless of them, restless. Every story needs minions. In any case, our hero descended into the Grotto of Despair. Grotto of Tentacles? Imagine the most sinister name you could conjure. Why? Yeah, the Grotto of Despair sounds about right. Indeed, is a place where one can wonderfully despair. Let's not get sidetracked. In the Grotto of Despair, our hero descended to retrieve an artifact capable of defeating the Monster King. The Ring of Incredible Power. A bit shoddily crafted, but I assure you, it looks more ecstatic in real life. However, the brave knight didn't know that the incredible power of the ring weighed in his 440 pounds of weight. That would be 200 kilos, I think. Damn, that's a heavy ring. Damn. That was its only magical property. The only incredible thing about the ring was its incredible stupidity and uselessness. The realization that he had spent weeks of his life on a divinely heavy paperweight. And the sudden, crashing thought that he should have become a baker instead of a hero. Just to get some sleep. Well, he broke his poor, noble mind. Now that his mind was ever intended for serious burden. Not meaningfully, waiting for him to continue. So, night perished. But then came along Elmer Eagle-Eyed. They say he earned his nickname by escaping from an enemy fortress. On the third day of his captivity, he noticed that his prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. Come on, Darian. Come on. An archer of legendary skill who tried to kill me with a precise shot. Constantly. During breakfast, while bathing, at balls, during sleep, and even while I was devishing a plan to get rid of him. The audacity. I hate just killing them. But turning them into madmen is much more fun. And I bestow a little curse upon the elf as well. I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he heard the most annoying melody in his ear. Damn, that's annoying. That's Shinji, right? From oh, what's the name of that anime? I never saw it, but yeah, that's the meme. That's the meme. Elmer was terrible racist. Where is this coming from? He hated dwarves. Okay, makes sense. He's an elf. So naturally, the melody became the national anthem of the dwarves, played in a loop by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropped his bow, and begged for a job at my court, in exchange for changing the song to anything else. He was desperate, and I was a villain. Everything aligned incredibly well. Now is my royal huntsman, the dwarf match replaced with a lively elven sea shanty. Nice! And let no one dare accuse me of being callous and heartless. Now he has a salary, good food, clothing, entertainment, and a full guarantee of non-dismemberment. No, that would be mean. An happy ending, right? For me, absolutely. I never had such a good hunter in my life. I never quite figured out where he gets all those species of animals. But no matter. And finally, the witch. In a classic giant hat, under which you could easily fit another witch. She tried a different approach, seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse. A fatal miscalculation. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats. That was the thing. Was the big ads, you know? Other people. Okay. Especially when both come in hand in hand. And those who wear suspenders and a belt at the same time. Yeah, and actually, I'm with you on that one, Darian. That is weird. Don't do that. A person who doesn't even trust their own pants certainty doesn't earn the trust of his highness. Then again, I don't trust his highness either. I don't trust myself. Especially the left side of my brain. Especially on Thursdays. But back to ads. I hate big ads too. You are my kindred spirit. Those ads are so pretentious, so self-assured. They block the view, get stuck in doorways, and always hint that the weather is compensating for something. Usually, lack of magical talent, or a pitiful personality, and that's on the good day. You, my dear Xander, have impeccable taste in headwear and, consequently, in everything else. It's a scientifically proven fact. No. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intent, jiggling with all her concealed weapons. Come on, at least she could have hidden those? Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have a very bad at witchery. Was she even a witch? In any case, now she resides in my dungeon. And you see? I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Her fate is a blank slate, a story yet to be written, so I offer you the pen. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Xander. What punishment fits her? What? Does he really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save her? Do I want to save her? And does it matter what I choose? Everything here follows his whim anyway. But as long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive. Maybe I should just entertain him? Damn, what should I do? I think the greatest thing would be to spare her. No one would expect that. Turn her into a hat. A small one. Do we try to save her? I mean, he is the king of chaos, right? He likes chaos, so spare would it indeed be out of the box. I refuse to decide that fate is neutral, and I don't think you'd like that is boring. But we probably would think spare is boring. Turn it into a small one. I mean, honestly, I don't care about the witch, I just want to survive. So turn it into a small one. The one who lived by a big hat shall become a small hat. The irony is so absurd, is beautiful. So be it. Let there be a small cap of eternal regret. Youth. She tried to get to my head. Now she can barely cover it. A brilliant sentence. See, I am a bad person. Something is missing from this tale. You never told me about the monster itself. Yeah, something is missing from this tale. You never told me about the monster itself. Dear, who cares about these monsters anyway? I do. Insist. I do. If monsters are muck, then I'm a pig, you see? How eloquent. Eloquent? Alright. I must admit, this will be my first performance like this. Darren sounds a bit bewildered, it seems. Allow me to just toss my mind up and see how it went. You see, the monster was originally much more modest and less majestic. But we all have to start somewhere, right? Is that a chameleon? I don't know what that is. Then my head suddenly became a bit crowded. First whispers, then arguments, then full-fledged discussions that had to be participated in and involved in inanimated objects. Guests in a jar door, closets, even cookie jars. Every container had a potential foe, and even I was surrounded by the containers. To be fair, sometimes they told funny stories. But why was I afflicted with this curse? Pondering it drives me mad. Even more so. It seems the question is meant for me. Would you curse from arrogance, greed? No. Did you touch the curse artifact? Maybe some ring of yours? That's pretty good. What do I say here? Wait, I can go back, right? Yes. Wait. But why was I affected with this curse? Pondering it was me mad, even more so. I'm basically calling him Otis here, right? I don't know. Would you curse for arrogance and greed? I don't know, I'm gonna comment so. Yet to be. Temporarily isolated. To avoid embarrassing guests at royal balls. With a young prince pointing at the noble lords and saying, haha, the gnomes finally got out from under my bed. What a misfortune for the entire family, except for those in line for the throne before me. My dad would have solved so many problems for my family, and indeed, many of my own problems too. I made the decision. We made it, to be precise. There was already a whole council of us by then. However, Chaos had other plans. A god, a goddess, a cosmic poetic error. I don't know. Something ancient and terrible bored. Wait. And terrible. Bored? No, sorry. I'm thinking like that's bored as in burrowed, like went through something. But no, it's bored as in boredom. Something ancient and terribly bored found itself a new source of entertainment. It offered me a throne, my own corner of reality to rule, where the fragments of my mind would become the laws of the land. No more restrictions or pens for my subjects, if I wished. My subjects, at first, they disagreed, but then they came to terms, or their minds changed to fit the new reality. And here I am. A dramatic silence ensues. Perhaps I was the first being to hear this story in the centuries of his existence. I must choose my next words carefully. No, not... Don't ask me for a tip right now. I really sympathize with you and all your multiple personalities. So you're still in a cage? You must be rather lonely. Check it out. I'm gonna just walk a family member in a tower isn't thinkable. Oh, this third one is interesting. Yeah, because like he's not really free. He just went from one cage to another. He's in his own reality, and his subjects aren't even unique. They are other parts of him, so he's still lonely. Yeah, let's go with that one. So you're still in a cage? It must be rather lonely here. No cages. More like a playground with surprisingly silent infants. But I don't blame them. I have the best shovel. No wonder I embarrass them so much. Or maybe it's because I love to create explosions. Tell me, have you ever been exploded? Or no, don't tell me. Let it be a surprise. Do you really sympathize with someone who dragged you into this dimension to tell silly stories and feed you purple goo? People never cease to amaze me. Touch his hand. Following a strange impulse, I reach out to his hand, resting on the table. His gaze slowly follows my movement, lowering our hands. This time, no commentary. Instead, his thumb begins to trace the patterns on the back of my hand with surprising tenderness. His shadow finally dissolves into nothingness. I just turned a living being into a gnat, or rather, became the catalyst for it. I wonder what kind of nightmares were warranted in such a case. I am afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up. I shall send you back, Xander. I rise from the chair. Oh! And suddenly, I feel him press against my back. One of his hands grips me from above the crook of my elbow, while the other gently rests under my chin, tilting my head back until my ear is just a couple of centimeters from his lips. Ooh. But don't think for a second that this is a goodbye. It was merely an overture. His voice, usually so mocking calm, now sounds eerily sinister. A cold thumb lightly strokes the line of my jaw. I try to suppress a shiver. You are a very interesting, incredible, curious guest. Possibly the most curious one I have in centuries. And I found that I don't want our acquaintance to end here. It's sort of unfair that you've learned a couple of secrets and revealed so few of yours, isn't it? I can tell whether it's flirting or threatening me. Both perhaps? A bird trapped in a cage of bills, failures, and endless anxiety. How high could you fly once the cage is open? Your shift will end, the sun will rise, and you'll want to head home, perhaps on something more elegant than a buzz, maybe in a carriage of polished bones. Polish. We will meet again, Xander, very, very soon, and next time, I won't let you go so quickly. I squeeze my eyes shut. The light is blinding even with my eyes closed, so unusual after all that this darkness. But the jar is full of money. It was all worth it. Nice. Oh, greetings, organism. How was your work progression? I don't know how I was doing his voice, so... I see the first transaction was successful. Acceptable. This still doesn't save you from the threat of cleaning sanitary facilities, but it's a wonderful starting point for your entire tiny life. Even more successful, the client tried to fill the entire station with money, probably due to extreme affection for you. Woo! Unfortunately, the terms of the Intergalactic Treaty do not allow such actions. Tips exceeding the amount set by the Council, approximately that number percentage, were disintegrated. To my great regret. Oh, we are just way too good, you know? The Intergalactic doesn't like us because of that. We are just too much of a good sales service person. I don't know what to like a cashier, but that's another name, right? Customer service. I don't. Moving on. I'm not English. I don't know the words. To my regret as well. Cool. So a mad god from another world likes me? In some sense, that's also worse than not being liked at all. Honestly, yeah. The first client sent me to another dimension and nearly turned me into a cash register. Nah. Work is going well, sir. Excellent. Maintain the level of productivity. You may be rewarded with additional 5 minutes feeding break for you if you find food. Rejoice in my generosity. Thanks, Bob. Continue working. I'm experiencing a positive emotional reaction. I am proud of you, and I will be even prouder if you acquire even more currency. We're a bit more chill now. Goodbye, Mr. Manager. Your tentacles shine particularly beautiful at this time of day. You like that? Your comments regarding the shiny of my appendages is noted, organism. He's blushing. The secret of my meticulous regime of polishing them with void... Okay, slime. Goodbye. Bye, Bob. He swapped across the floor to his office. He swaps across the floor to his office. As soon as Bob... Rhythmic, I think. White swaps fade away, a deep silence descends upon the station. One moment, I'm in a surreal forest, dining on people goo with a mad god. On purple, not people, purple, sorry. A god who likes me so much that he offered to ride me back to his world in a carriage made of bones. The next moment, I'm being praised by a multi-eyed tentacle monster. Maybe these are all the deathbeds hallucinations. All my deathbeds hallucinations. I'm just going insane. Some part of me enjoys these mad adventures. God, give me back my pills, my noodles, my arguments with strangers on the internet. No. I'm liking this. I'm going insane. Some parts of me enjoy these mad adventures. I am an adrenaline junkie. Disgusting. Now that I have dealt with that too... Wait, now I have to deal with that too. In the midst of my contemplation, a terrifying sounds emanate from my boss' office. Unfair bills and acceptable large numbers. Of course. What else could upset him so much, if not that?